Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Thank you as always for your tweets. What a treat. Saturday you're here, Craig.
Yeah, well, I had a choice this week.
Oh, there you are.
I was given a choice. I don't normally get choices, but I got a choice. A lot of choices.
There you are. Good.
The choice was this. Bad choice, I must tell you.
Yep.
Bad choice.
Gab is here, as is Jan. So many
Somebody
questions.
says Jan will be back from Frankfurt and he'll have sobered up from the celebrations, and I said, how will we know?
Well, that's true. Jan, why didn't you get on the plane and just go with the players to Frankfurt if you're invited?
Yeah, because I didn't win it, Dan. I mean, I was a fan and working as a journalist on the game. I had my shirt in my bag, but I think there should be a limit of that. I mean, there was not enough hanger-on, so I went somewhere else and did another great job that you will see soon.
What did you do, Jan?
I will tell you later.
Oh, it's Haaland, isn't it? Haaland.
That's his Mbappe to Real Madrid thing stuff.
Yes.
He's doing a big face.
Haaland's going, can I get to Madrid now?
He's now going to be spending half of his life in Manchester.
Yes, yeah, completely. Basically. Just stalking Haaland as he did in Dortmund.
He will. He's in Manchester.
Craig, would Mbappe winning the Champions League in Paris and become the league all-time top goal scorer next season outweigh anything he could achieve in Madrid next season?
No. You want me to expand on that?
Yes, I'd like you to go a little deeper if you wouldn't mind.
No.
No? Why not?
I don't think they'll win the Champions League. They could. It might happen. French league.
Go for it, Craig. Go for it, Craig. You'll do it.
Look, the French league is okay. There's some good teams in the French league. Don't get me wrong, there's some good players, but it's not a destination league,
right?
For the elite world players from South America, wherever it is, and other places in Europe and Asia and all that. It's not a destination place, so it's good, but it's not really resonating much. I'm sorry.
Have we got the front page of Marca? Should we show the front page of Marca here? This is what it led with on this will be Sunday's edition. Well, we don't have it. I thought we had it, but it says it takes a lot of class to play for Real Madrid, with a picture of Kylian Mbappe signing his contract till 2025. Yeah. They're taking it very well, Gab. Of course, is that it? Is it like he'll never play for Real Madrid ever?
Look, I think a lot is going to depend, on what happened in the past couple of weeks, and I think what the next weeks bring. The way this, I know we heard the story about Florentino getting a WhatsApp and whatever. Jan alluded to this on the show. We don't have any details yet about his contract. Now, if I were Mbappe, I would say, listen, all right, I'll sign a 3-year contract for show, but I want a release clause in a year's time, because that gives me then the power to do what I want. Maybe this is what happened. I mean, I'm purely speculating here. I'm thinking what I would do if I was Mbappe. If you're Paris Saint-Germain at this stage, let's just be realistic, right? Let's cut through the BS, right? Messi's there, he's parked there, you're paying a fortune for him. Neymar's there, he's parked there, you're paying a fortune for him. The World Cup is in November, and then after that, all bets are off about what happens to the Qatari ownership. So if Mbappe goes to you and says, look, all right, I'll sign your contract, we'll have another go, we'll win, but I want a release clause so I can get out of here in a year's time and go to Madrid, go somewhere else, if that's what, because that's what I want to do, right? Those are my terms. If you're Paris Saint-Germain, are you really going to say no to that? I don't think so. I don't think you're going to say, no, it's got to be 3 years, Kylian. No. So, when I put these things together, I don't see why it's impossible for this to continue unless Florentino feels that he's been humiliated by this process, unless he feels that he's been used. And it's entirely possible because, look, this leaves Real Madrid in a very bad place, right? No Haaland, no Mbappe. You got to figure this out somehow. So unless he's the type of person to bear a grudge, I'm going to go out on a limb here and guess that because Florentino's a businessman, because he's worked in construction, or owns construction companies around the world, the guy's got a good pair of stones on him, and he's had his setbacks, and he doesn't hold grudges. He understands it's business, and I think if that's the scenario, if he gets Mbappe in a year's time, I think he's okay with it. If he has to wait 3 years until this contract expires, Mbappe will still be just 26. I don't think he's going to shut the door on it. I don't think he's that kind of person.
Is your boy Haaland regretting his decision, Jan?
No, not at all. I have just my opinion because I don't think that they've been through that process and they choose Manchester City. Real Madrid had lost out on Erling Braut Haaland and lost out on Mbappe. But I'm with Gab. There is no chance in the world that Mbappe will play in Paris for 3 years. He doesn't give a free transfer away for fun. He will get all the money in the world. I won't take it all the way, but it's getting late in Norway. So I will nearly say that I'm surprised if he's going to play one season there. I think the only thing that can guarantee now is that he will play there over the World Cup. I think we may have the same conversation in January.
Oh, Craig, you look forward to that?
I can also
Clip this. Remember this.
Yeah, but it's because he got all cards in his hands. He's not only have the best cards, he got all 52 cards in his hands. So he could put a clause in that he can go in the winter transfer window. It may be in there somewhere. So this is all about getting over the Qatari World Cup, and then we'll take it from there, I think.
Oh, but Mbappe up... Before today, I had Mbappe up to about here.
Right.
And today,
it's big news, Craig.
Here, somewhere here.
And Benzema, of course, put on his Insta story, didn't he? His finger kind of pointing up to Real Madrid. It's like I'm with Real Madrid. What else did he say, Gam?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't see Benzema's Instagram story. I'm here doing the show with you.
Oh, well.
Yeah, who follows these Instagram stories?
Millions, literally millions of people do.
Yeah, I know, but
Okay,
we're not a lot better to do.
Let's change subject for a moment. For Craig, who would you pick of the ESPN crew to be your agent? That's from one for another. You never had an agent, did you?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. A couple.
I didn't have an agent.
Oh, well, there you are.
I would say Craig.
Yeah.
Shaka.
Shaka.
Shaka?
Shaka.
Send him in.
It was like Stevie in there. He'll come out and go, I've got you shepherd's pie for life.
I got you...
A golf club that's free.
Well... What happened was, we were having these discussions, and I had this private thing, and I replied all on the email, as I always do.
Oh, Stevie loves a reply all on emails, like we all got yesterday, once again.
I think Shaq, I don't know, he could be a bit of a nasty sod.
I'd want you, Craig.
Me?
Yes. I'd definitely want you as my agent going in there. Because you are just ruthless.
But what about Don? What about Don going into negotiation? And Don was, instead of 5%, he would say 50%. And then you suddenly, and then the manager, and then the president would say, okay, let's say 30 then. And he would say, okay. So I would have Don, absolutely.
Oh my God, imagine that.
I am a bit ruthless with stuff like that, I must admit.
Yeah. Stubborn.
As you well know from here.
Yes, yeah.
Our boss's boss was saying, don't ask him. No, Stevie, no,
of course not.
Just not happening.
No, definitely.
At least Shaq's got a bit of.
Frank, they might just give it just to shut him up.
Yeah.
All right, just shut up, Frank. Just take this.
Don would get it all wrong.
Don would.
If it was Don, you'd actually be on less than you were on the year before.
Yeah, he would be horrendous.
Yeah, but percentage-wise, it's going to be better over long.
Oh yeah, no, exactly.
Well, Don would say something like, "Well, I put on Twitter."
Yes, I was calling that game. Is Mbappe staying at PSG good?
We can hear now with this guy.
Okay, Gab. Is Mbappe staying at PSG? Well, no, let's do you, Jan, because you're Champions League man. Is Mbappe staying at PSG good for Champions League viewers? Instead of a Champions League finalist this year adding a young megastar, it spreads out. Top world talent making one more top team to make Champions League more exciting. Neutral fans don't want next year to be just three super teams, Real Madrid, Liverpool and City.
Well, I'm not, well, we've discussed that at the show today. I mean, that you can win knockouts games and all that. It is easier and so on and so on. And Pep Guardiola apparently says it's easier to win the Champions League. But now I would have loved, I must say, I would have loved to see Mbappe at Real Madrid. I think that would be fantastic. And we've seen Real Madrid, they're in the final now. They could have been out a couple of rounds ago. So I'm not fear that it would be a Super League kind of thing. It's been, I got some breaking news for all fans. We've had in the Champions League a Super League for many years. Most of the teams who's been going all the way and been in semi-finals or the quarter-finals have been the wealthiest club anyway. So I wouldn't say a big difference there. He's staying at PSG now. Makes that PSG game maybe a bit more entertaining, but you still got Neymar and Messi there. So, but I would love to see him a Real Madrid shirt.
For Gab, anyway, Chelsea can get rid of Lukaku and sign Lewandowski.
Question.
Again, I'm sorry. I know that we're all supposed to say Lukaku's overweight and he's lazy and he's horrible and he's mean. He's not. He's substantially younger than Lewandowski, who, by the way, I believe turns 34 in August. Lewandowski would be making a lot more money than Lukaku. It's difficult to shift Lukaku because nobody's going to give you anywhere near what you paid for him. Why would you do this? Why would you sell Lukaku? Is the plan sell Lukaku to Real Madrid because they've missed out on Mbappe and sign Lewandowski for what? For a year? For 2 years? And you're back to square one? I think the Lukaku hate, it's got to be modulated. They made a commitment. They committed a lot of money. Right now, they don't even have a new owner anymore, right? They're still waiting for this freaking government license. If it doesn't get renewed on May 31st, they'll cease trading anyway. So why don't we just pump the brakes on this one a little bit? Let Lewandowski be there and listen to Oliver Kahn because he always speaks the truth. He has a contract, he will fulfill the contract.
I'm not necessarily talking about, I'm not necessarily summarising this about Lewandowski, but Gab, Chelsea, Thomas Tuchel, ownership, whoever it is, fan base, can ill afford to stumble along for another season with a front line that's not operating, with a front man who there is a huge doubt whether he's going to be able to do it for Chelsea at a level they need to bridge the gap to Liverpool and City. I mean, can Chelsea afford to just say, well, we've paid a lot of money for him, so we're just going to keep rumbling along with him and see if it works? Or do they try and cut the losses, get what they can, and move on somewhere else? I mean, they're almost 20 points off whatever they are off the top of the league. They can ill afford that to happen again.
That's one way to look at it, or you could look at it and say, like, we're the best non-freakishly good team in the Premier League. We reached 2 domestic cup finals, lost them both on penalties, and got knocked out of the Champions League in bizarro circumstances by Real Madrid after winning at the Bernabeu, where supposedly 90 minutes is an eternity, and blah 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 blah. We're not in such bad shape. If we have to sell money, if we have to sell players, maybe find somebody to take Timo Werner away, or Hakim Ziyech, or one of Ross Barkley, one of these other guys. I think realistically, you can take a loss on a player, but it's difficult given Lukaku's wages that they signed him to, given the season he's had, and given the amount of money you paid for him, and the fact he's only been there 1 year, so it's not, it's only been amortized a little bit. It's really, really difficult to move him on. And I think unless Tuchel says, no, I can't work with this guy, you go to him and you say, hey, Tommy, we're not in a good place right now, ownership-wise. Why don't you make it work with Lukaku last season or next season? And unless Tuchel says, no, it's either him or me, I can't work with this guy, and acts all divish, and at that point, maybe you say, all right, maybe Tuchel, we want to keep Tuchel happy, we move him on. But I don't see that happening. I mean, in the end, they knew who they were signing when they signed Lukaku, and I don't think you can just write it off after one season.
Jan, was De Bruyne voted player of the season solely based on the recent memory of his 4 goals haul, because his numbers do not compare to both men in the Golden Boot race? Those men are Son and Salah.
Was De Bruyne voted player of the season solely based on the recent memories? I think that Kevin De Bruyne is a fantastic player. You can give it to him. There is a couple of other players you can give it to as well, but as our expert on this voting is Craig Burley, so I will be very carefully now with my words, but I think that De Bruyne deserve it.
So you got it? I didn't know. I missed it.
Yeah, he got it today. Phil Foden, young player.
Didn't pay any attention to it. So, but look, people get caught up. People get
Is
caught
the
up.
PFA vote?
Yeah.
No, this is the Premier League vote.
Anyway, I mean,
it's a Premier League.
We love awards.
What's that? I'm sorry. What kind of like Tim Pot award is that?
It's
like,
voted.
There's
by,
2 awards.
It's voted by the
there's
fans.
The PFA award from the
Those
players
who dedicate themselves to the game. Tin Pot is not how they would describe it.
Exactly, and it just shows you how strong De Bruyne is.
Listen. There are 2. Oh no, because it's all those because Man City are a far more popular club and have many more hundreds of millions of fans worldwide than Liverpool, which is why De Bruyne won it, right? Is that what we're talking? Look, there's 2 awards that matter. Personally, I don't think any of these individual awards matter, but there's 2 that matter historically. One is the PFA award, which is voted on by the players, and even that, because the votes come in so early, I don't know how important that is. The other one is the Football Writers Award, which Stevie Nicol, of course, once won. And that's voted on by football writers. This Premier League award voted on by players over the internet, voted on by bots.
You don't like democracy.
What is this?
You don't like democracy.
Why are football writers' votes more important than fans, Gab? What's wrong with you?
Gab. No, you just explode yourself as the elitism of this football world. I mean, them fans could vote, and you spoke against yourself because if De Bruyne for Manchester City is winning, means that all Manchester United fans and all Liverpool fans in the world, they didn't get their players through. How good is it to have Kevin De Bruyne, you elitistic kind of Italian prince?
Yeah. Oh, God,
he must be a heck of a lot better and more popular than Mo Salah. That's almost like listen, I don't have a problem with De Bruyne winning, right? For me, De Bruyne and Salah are both fine choices. But I love it. Like, oh, look, we need some attention. Let's hire a PR company and let's make up another award, which wasn't here last year. And then let's go and get the media to talk about it. That's all we're talking about here. I mean, there's been an award. People voted De Bruyne, or they voted for Salah, or maybe they like Heung-min Son. Maybe it's Gerard Bowen. Would have been my choice, but whatever. And that's that. Let's stick with that.
And what about the But what about the football writers? Have you seen Ballon d'Or or all these kind of international awards? When there is a football writer in some country, I won't mention any country, they're making players that we haven't heard of.
I know where you're going.
And that is the great thing. That is the great thing.
Yeah, look. I think that's nonsense too. I don't care about the Ballon d'Or. I think it's just become like a freak show popularity contest as well. And sometimes, look, I don't have a problem with the people who've won it, because the last 15 years we've been blessed with Messi and Cristiano, and it's hard to go wrong with one of those two. And I know it's very important to the players, but this isn't a measure of anything, and we waste far too much time talking about it. And I feel like Craig Burley would probably agree with me.
No, the football fans, Gab, you take away the issue. The football fans, the voters, the shareholders of football have voted Kevin De Bruyne, and you say it's nonsense because some football writer can't vote. I mean, elitism at the highest level, Gab.
Please ask Jan, will he take responsibility for Haaland if he flops in Manchester City, just like Werner, Sancho and Havertz?
If I take yes, of course I will. I put Werner, Havertz and all of them in England because I felt that was the right thing. So of course I will take the full responsibility.
Earlier this week, Craig referred to Nottingham Forest.
There's a money-back guarantee, right, Jan?
Yep. Earlier this week, Craig referred to Nottingham Forest as we.
No, I didn't.
Thought everyone should know.
No, I didn't.
Apparently, Josh Hartley heard it.
Doubt it.
Gab, Craig actually really likes Forest. Like, really?
He should do.
I know, but Craig doesn't like anything.
No, well, I don't. I mean, the fact that my son and my grandson.
I thought there was a big Derby Forest rivalry.
Yeah, there is, but unfortunately,
that's disappointing.
It was mentioned to me when I was a Derby County player that I did buy a house in Nottingham.
Right.
For reasons that will remain undisclosed.
Oh, that sounds intriguing now.
However, now that my son is a season ticket holder at the City Ground and my grandson is absolutely mad on Forest, I have a keen eye on them.
Perfect. No, it's
Nothing
nice.
more.
No, it's well.
Nothing more. A keen eye.
Yeah, but I've never known you have a keen eye on anything since I've known you. What?
Yeah, I've golf.
Yes, I know, but golf doesn't play in the Premier League.
Formula One.
Rugby doesn't play in the Premier League.
No, I've got a keen eye on them.
I know. I hope they get promoted for that reason. Be nice.
Searching for tickets. I think I may have stumbled on a couple.
Oh, perfect. I'm sure Gab's got contacts. Gab's got contacts everywhere. He'll sort you out.
Anyway, back to the thing. No, move on.
Jan,
I was trying to say something.
Did you ever?
How many bloody questions is there a day?
There's 2 more.
Saturday.
There's 2 more. It's because Jan and Gab are on blabbering away. Jan, did you ever?
Saturday. Tick. Last.
Jan, did you ever use a hairband in your footballing career?
No, I didn't. I loved to be that striker with the long hair, the number 9.
Yeah.
And then I got my hair. I got hair a bit long, and if I missed a chance, I would always blame my hair. So I always I had a short hair when I played. That's why now I take my long hair when I'm getting older. But as a football player, no. Well, I trained my son's team when he was 16, and I said, if any of you have a hairband, you won't play.
Wow.
So that was a rule.
See, they were all rubbish because they couldn't see.
Sorry, Jan, that's not you were calling Gab elitist. That's really not very 2022.
No,
I'm sorry.
No, and Craig, imagine this: when my son played for Hamilton, Ayr and Greenock Morton, he played with a hairband. So I'm a bad educator of my son.
Yeah, he's like all kids who don't listen to.
We learned yesterday, Craig, that your golf handicap is 2.
Actually, incorrect. As of this morning, it had gone up to 3.
Oh, there we go.
However, on the show yesterday, it was 2.
Right, there we are. Would you trade your golf handicap for the chance to have Jan's great hair instead?
What's wrong with me?
Well, you've got a little bit.
Excuse me, I think my hair's great.
Right, for the moment.
The areas that are still growing, I think, are great. So, and I'm fine with that.
Didn't your daughter throw you under the bus once? When it comes to your hair?
I'll still be here, won't I? I'm still here.
With regards to your hair?
She may have brought up a shampoo that I was a product. Thank you very much. She may have brought up a product that I was trying out at the time in front of one of my good friends who I was on holiday with.
And what was said products?
Well, my wife sent my daughter up to the hotel room in Miami actually a few years ago to get something for our friends.
Right.
To do something. And my daughter said, "Is it next to Dad's special shampoo?" And next to Dad's special shampoo, my good mate Rob, who was laying on the sun lounger, came up with that and went, "Special shampoo?" He was on the phone to all my mates in Nottingham. "Hey, he's got special shampoo." And this shampoo was supposed to just keep your hair nice and thick.
Right, it's like a thickening agent.
No, it wasn't a thickening agent. It was like, it was whatever.
Craig, have you sued them? Have you sued them?
I stopped using it, Jan, many years ago. What happened, this is true, it just keeps growing so thick, it was uncontrollable.
Really? Yeah. Just too much.
So, but she said to Mummy, "Okay, Mum, I'll go and get it. Is it just next to Dad's special shampoo?" And I was like, gonna kill him.
Oh, good stuff. Thank you very much, guys.
But there's people we've had in this show. They've had the full bush.
Yes.
Off.
Yep.
Full. What do you call it?
Transplant. A hair transplant.
Transplant.
Yes. Yep. There you go.
And no, it's not Robbo and Frank LeBouf, because that would be a failed transplant.
Then you definitely wouldn't be getting your money back. That is that. ESPNFC is back on your screens. Would you go? Would you get that done?
Well,
if it was called upon, a hair transplant?
No, it's not called upon.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.